Welcome to a very special virtual gig from Evoke as they launch their debut EP, Revelations. We welcome you to sit back, relax, or why not even join in, sing along, as I recommend cranking up the volume and watching this on widescreen as you're in for a treat. Evoke are made up of 4 childhood friends from Loughrea, County Galway. They formed as a band back in 2015. Since then, they've been performing cover songs in pubs and music venues across Ireland. To date, they have released an array of original music with their debut single, Keep On Moving, back in 2018. Following that is a string of singles which include Collide and Can You Feel It, which feature on the Revelations EP, and you'll hear all these and more on this very special show. Their music style is a mix of indie pop with a trad fusion twist. So I think it's time we meet the lads. On drums we have Evan Ford, on bass guitar we have Michael Glynn, on banjo and backup vocals we have Dylan Crean, and on lead vocals and guitar, Mr. Keegan Ford. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Evoke.
Well, I hear those songs, see those faces. Something about this place is different to me, 'cause I'm here along with you. We both get drunk and we sing along to the words of forgotten songs, and I don't give a damn when I'm singing them here with you. So can I get a little whoa, oh, 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 whoa, oh, and whoa, oh, 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 oh. Whoa, oh, and whoa, oh, 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 oh. Whoa, oh, and whoa, oh, 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 woo! The actions that I speak ain't louder than the words that I sing to you. Ho, ho, sing it, yo! Don't back yourself against the wall. Lay your worries, let them fall, 'cause I'm here for you. And I'm here for you. So can I get a little whoa, oh, 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 whoa, oh, and whoa, oh, 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 whoa, oh, and whoa, oh, 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 whoa, oh, and whoa, oh, 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 oh. But when you're alone with me, oh, I'm gonna sing this song to you, and all to you. And even in those crowded rooms, you gotta know it's just for you. That it's just for you. So can I get a little whoa, oh, oh, just a little bit of whoa, oh, oh, just a little bit of whoa, oh, 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 no. Can I get a little more, oh, oh, just a little bit more, oh, oh, just a little bit more, oh, oh, oh. 2, 3, and whoa, oh, 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 whoa, oh, and whoa, oh, 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 yeah. Whoa, oh, and whoa, oh, 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 yeah. Whoa, oh, and whoa, oh, 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 yeah. A bit of boom.
Lads, how are you?
Oh, you Chris, you right?
This is some song kicking us off there for you. Tell us about that.
I'll let Evan speak about that one.
Evan, give us the goss.
The goss, yeah. Well, I just basically wrote the song. I was always sort of wanted a just a little bop of a song. Nothing meaning too deep or anything. Just about a night out, really. Just having a bit of crack and just something. Literally, it's a 2-minute song, and I was like right away, and whatever comes to mind came. I didn't want to get too deep in with it, so that was basically it. Yeah, before you came along, then.
And it was born.
I was born, yeah.
Oh, very good. It really is a good boppy tune, and that's the way to be. That's the way to have the music. So, lads, tell everyone about yourselves, how you got together.
Yeah, we got together back in Jesus, how many years ago is it now? Must be 7, 6, 7.
6 going on 7.
6 going on 7. Oh yeah, yeah. We got together. It was me at the start, just doing a couple of cover gigs here and there, and then Evan started playing drums, and then he turned around to me one day and he was like, "There's 2 lads in music class with me, and they really want to get into playing music." So I was just like, yeah, sure, bring them over, we'll have a bit of a jam, like, and we ended up playing a few gigs there that Christmas, and after that, then just we're here now.
Yeah,
you know.
You met it through school, obviously.
Yeah.
I think we have a snapshot of you there performing together.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Oh, no.
I think it's going up on screen somewhere. There's the boys now. Look at you. As if butter wouldn't melt in your mouth, lads. Very good. So tell me about the name of Oak then. I'm sure there's a lot of brainstorming to come up with the name for the band.
Well, it was initially just me and Ev, and then we entered the IYMAs for Galway, and we didn't have a name. And I think it was one of the, I think he was a leader there. I'm not sure. It was years and years ago, but he was coming up for different names for us, and the idea of EV for Evan, and then the O with the line through it, and then K for Keegan. So it was kind of that was the idea of it, and then the two boys came in and ruined the name, but they all liked the name anyway. So we said we'd keep it.
It's a full package deal, that's for
exactly,
sure.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So listen, individually, tell us how you got involved with music. Let's go back to when Jesus was a child here now.
Yeah. I suppose I was, according to my parents and my grandparents, I was singing before I could talk. So I was always in the back of the car humming away on songs, and then my granddad got me first guitar because it was just something I wanted to do. And I just found Mumford and Sons and that kind of music, and I fell in love with it. And Mum and Dad just brought me to guitar lessons for years and years and years, and eventually it sort of half paid off, like, you know. So that's how I kind of got started with it anyway.
Yeah. And Evan, since you're the brother, I'm sure you followed on after your bigger brother, the responsible one.
I was a bit later than him. I'd gone through loads of other instruments, and nothing was working for me. But I loved AC/DC. Dad's a big fan of AC/DC, so I just loved Phil Rudd, the drummer.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to play drums. Can I play drums? Mom's like, no, you're going to piano. I was like, please. After about 2 years of fighting with her, she finally said, here, that's it. You go for drums. If you can't do it, that's it. So I went for drums, and sure, I've loved it ever since. Haven't stopped.
And here you are today making a good racket. Well,
awful nice.
Thankfully, it went in the right way anyway.
Well,
and
yeah.
Mike, tell us how you got started in all this.
I was playing guitar and drums before I met the boys. I don't think I got good at guitar. I was playing guitar for about 6 years before I met Keegan. I didn't get good until he started teaching me.
All right.
And
I was like, he's a music teacher and all now. But here we have it.
Mike's a good student, so I have no patience otherwise.
And I was playing guitar and drums, so when Keegan told me to pick up a bass, it kind of came easy, like.
Yeah.
Because the bass is kind of just guitar with rhythm, like. Once you have the rhythm, it's easy to learn the bass. I think we were playing for like 2 years before I started playing the bass. Like, we were missing something. We said, give it a go.
Why not? Sure.
Yeah.
Very good. And Dylan, tell us about how you got started with the banjo and the music and all that.
Well, I suppose when I was very young, I was pushed to try and learn the guitar, and it just never worked. Never, ever worked. And I dropped music, I'd say, for about 4 years maybe. And I just came home one day, I was like, I want to play banjo. And I was like, no way. She's like, you tried the guitar, it didn't work. Stringed instrument, no way. And I was like, please, 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 like Evan, please be begging. And she eventually said, son, you can go and borrow a banjo off someone, go to lessons, see how you like it, see how you go. And it just went from bottom to now, basically. And that's how we started. Started playing out traditional music at the very start, you know, traditional Irish tunes and that kind of thing, and going to sessions in pubs, and just kind of blossomed from there then, yeah. And that was basically where it stemmed from.
Oh, very good. So you're going to give us another song now here. Came to an end. So give us the lowdown on this. Walk us through it. Back to you, Evan, it seems. You're responsible for this one.
Oh, stuff, yeah. No, Came to an end. It's basically, it's two friends of mine. They'd broken up for a time, and I was like, I don't know, I was basically writing a happy song, or like I was playing something on the guitar, and it was a bit boppy. And for some reason, I couldn't think of anything else. So the lyrics just started came with that, like came to an end. The chorus sort of came like that. I was like, what could you relate to coming to an end? I said the relationship, but I was like, there's no point making a sad song about it.
Right.
Because it's just typical with every sad song, but like the typical breakup song too. But I said, I wrote it then again. I brought it to Keegan. I didn't really think much of it at the time. It was just sort of a work in progress. Then Keegan came along and he helped me write the bridge and stuff like that. So it was sort of me and Keegan. It was our first ever song we technically wrote together, you could say. So we did that, and that came to an end, basically.
I liked it because I got to rap in it. So I was like, we're doing this song, I get to do a bit of a rap in the middle of it, and I'm delighted with myself.
And the banjo shines on this as well, because there's a nice intro to it.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that banjo kind of just came out of nowhere, really, didn't it? It just, in the studio, and we were just kind of playing with it, and next thing the lads were playing the main song and kind of just
Accident.
bopping away, and
Accident,
Keegan kind of said, try this, and I was like, okay, and then, it all started, it fell into place really well, surprisingly enough, because, but yeah, it turned out good.
That's the trad ear for you,
This is it. Well, I've noticed with the band, from what we've talked before, because we have been on the radio chatting before and stuff like that, that a lot of happy accidents happen in this group, and they happen for a great reason, that's for sure. Well, look, lads, I'll leave you take it away. This has came to an end.
Was it love or lust? There wasn't nothing. I can't keep thinking there was something when we're only hopeless lovers in life. Giving up and tired of only feeling something that was really nothing. Now I'm sick of all the false hope and lies. Yeah, I know it really don't matter. It really don't matter. It really don't matter. But if you want, we can try again. Looking for a different end. When I first saw you, I thought that we might be more than friends. But unlike the movies, our love, it came to an end. Oh, it came to an end. It came to an end. Came to an end. It came to an end. So was it all we knew? Just being opposites. We should have grown closer when we spread apart much further than you. We're not at fault, but I don't take blame either. You feel like I feel, well I feel like I'm looking at a point of view. It's not the same, but I really don't blame you. I really don't blame you. I really don't blame you. But if you want, we can try again. Looking for a different end. When I first saw you, I thought that we might be more than friends. But unlike the movies, our love, it came to an end. Oh, it came to an end. It came to an end. Came to an end. It came to an end. Whoa. And I don't see the point in trying just to fail. We're trying just to fail again. Could we just let this go and go our separate ways? 'Cause I don't know how much of this I can take. When I first saw you, I thought that we might be more than friends. But unlike the movies, our love, it came to an end. Oh, it came to an end. It came to an end. Came to an end. It came to an end. No!
So, lads, I know you've supported some big acts, Irish acts across the country, and I believe we actually have a little clip of you here performing a song from Ryan Sheridan.
1, 2, 3, 4, this is for the dream I'm moving through and losing. Don't tell me money's nothing. I look around and can't get a job. I work to live, I don't live to work. So my head's off your way, yes I can. My suitcase back in my master plan, but my lucky penny swinging around my leg. So I was happening that I wanna be, but my feet they step to some degree. But the only way that I need to go is up.
Now, we went through the archives for that one, as you may tell. Yeah. What I loved about that is your hair was doing a lot more movement than you were.
Yeah, that was me. What was that? That Ned's classified school survival guide. Remember the coconut head? Yeah, that was that haircut now. It may stay back in whatever year that.
I think that was 2015.
It may stay there.
According to that, Mikey was giving me the dagger eyes during that. He's not talking to me now. I'll have to try and sweeten you back up. But anyway, talk to me about nerves. So like performing like the likes of those songs, cover songs and stuff like that, for these acts, like were you nervous at all?
No.
Never.
Not really, like, to be fair. It was nice. It was kind of nice that, like, I don't know, like, by the time the lads kind of joined, I was well versed in just performing in front of people, like, and then, to be fair, the boys picked it up fierce quick, and like, it was not, like, it was always a gradual build, you know. We were always we were always playing in venues like that suited us, that suited where we were in that particular space and time, in regards to like our level as musicians and our level as performers. And every year, like, that just gradually grew, so everything sort of felt like a natural progression, like, you know. There was never really a time where we were just thrown into a deep end,
Yeah.
and completely out of our comfort zone. I think when all of us are on stage anyway, like, you know, sure,
You feed off each other more or less.
exactly, yeah, exactly.
You're kind of hype yourselves up and just go with it because you know each other. So that's good. It's important. So now we're going to have to get a little bit deep now because we're talking about Collide here. So this is actually the ballad of the Revelations EP.
That's the one, yeah. Yeah, Collide is the song I wrote. I wrote it my second or first year of college. I think it was actually my first year in college. And it's just a song about one person in a relationship, and they feel like the other person's sort of drifting away from them. It was just to act as a reminder that wasn't the case, you know, that sort of way.
Right. I'll leave you take it away, so lads. This is Collide.
Well, I consider myself the lucky one, and if that's all that I'll be, let me fall off and I'll dream some more. But don't wake me, not if you're going to leave. And I consider myself the lucky one, even just at 17. And I was drawn to you that night. I still am, I think I always will be. So I'm not pushing you to the side, I was just trying to figure this out. This ain't a goodbye, I don't think the words could leave my mouth. So dry up those eyes, let these nights be made for you and I. We can watch the stars shoot by into our heart and then collide. Well, I consider myself the lucky one, yeah. Dublin on that 4th of July. You were holding on to me so tight, yeah. But every feeling that I felt just right. And oh, we danced and we sang, and me the memories are worth keeping. This was a last request played out. We kissed in Dublin on that funny night. So I'm not pushing you to the side, I was just trying to figure this out. Oh, this ain't a goodbye, I don't think the words could leave my mouth. So dry up those eyes, let these nights be made for you and I. We can watch the stars shoot by into war, and then collide, and then collide, then collide.
Now, I know it's been a long time coming getting this EP to fruition. So tell us about the journey of getting it.
Yeah, the EP was we kept going on to radio shows and yourself included in that, and been like, yeah, there's one coming.
It's coming.
It's coming. And then the year after that, I am telling you, it's coming. And then the year after that, it's still coming. And then we got, to be fair, we got the opportunity with COVID just to sit down and really just bang them out and get the time to record, get the time to mix them, get the time and partially the time to write some of them as well. But yeah, it was definitely a journey for us. Like it was a big moment for all of us to really get it to just to have it. Do you know what I mean? We're delighted with it. You know, it's there's no song on it the same. There's a flavor. There's every sort of flavor in it.
Yeah. Does it have an overall theme?
Like, no, I think the overall theme really is that like we don't really do genre. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
The overall theme really is like we've played cover gigs since like what age? You were 13, 14? 14, like, you know, and I've been doing that as well. And the one thing we learned from covers is that you can never have enough covers. You can never have enough variety because people are always going to want more. And I think that really took not consciously. We didn't sit down to write 5 totally different songs. Like all these songs were written just years apart from one another. Some of them were brand new, written in a studio mostly, and then some of them were songs like "Can You Feel It" that I wrote when I was 15 years of age. Like, so, you know, like that's the first Evoke song really. So like just the overall theme is that, you know, we just play, like, do you know what I mean? That's what it is.
It's 5 original buttes, basically, put onto a record. It really is. Now, I know, Mikey, you had the biggest job of all is actually coming up with the title of the EP. It was entrusted to you.
Well, no, we all agreed that Revelations was the best song on it anyway. And as Keegan said, it didn't really have, all the songs were a lot different, like, so instead of trying to think of a name that'll put all the songs together, I said just call it the best or favourite song off the EP. Because I think that's done a lot these days in like hip-hop and stuff.
Yeah.
Because people can't be arsed trying to think of a name.
Oh, no, they could be. It's just, we just slap in whatever is there.
Song, like, so I just had
Well,
to do that.
no, for a debut EP, it's good, and the songs speak the volumes. Each song kind of is a revelation in itself, so it's a very easy listening EP, and it's enjoyable for all the punters out there and watching this. It really is. So now there's a few little hidden gems on this EP for those of you who don't know. There's little emblems I want to talk to you about. So who was the mastermind that came up with this idea?
Well, it was kind of me.
No, it was you.
It was full of you.
Self-praise is no praise, but it was called Keegan, folks.
Like the one that's just where it says Evoke, and then there's Ohm writing written there, and I actually
What writing? Ohm.
Yeah, so it's an old form of I think it's Irish or Celtic. I'm gonna get in trouble now, but it's an old form of Irish writing basically, and they were written on stones years and years ago, and it was to kind of signify just if a king owned an area of land, that rock with the Ohm writing would signify that. So I love all that kind of thing. So I was like, we may as well, you know, like unintentionally the Irish theme of the green, white and gold sort of came through, and we didn't actually mean to. That was down to our designer Emmett Ryan, and he just gave us a load of colours, and that actually just ended up being our favourite one. So that was Ohm, and then
the writing.
Yeah, the Ohm writing, and then the kind of MP sort of X weird thing there. That's rune, I think. It's an old form of, I think the Vikings used it or something like that. I can't remember now.
It's real medieval times.
Pure medieval times, yeah. But yeah, I like that. I just have fascination with all those things, and I don't know. It kind of makes it that little bit different, you know. It's sort of way they kind of pop out and they fill out the spaces that need to be filled out, and you know, I don't know. They mean something to me anyway, and they're just unique, and you don't really see them on a lot of on a lot of covers.
It's totally different, and it's that little things like that make it all up, especially when it's your first baby as such. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
so you kind of, it all comes together fairly good. Now, a track we're going to hear from you is actually not on this particular EP. It followed the EP after, and it's called Sorry Then Safe.
Yeah.
Now, this has a different sound compared to the sound that's on the EP. So walk us through this lyrically and sound-wise.
Every sound on the EP is a different sound from the song that follows it, so we just kind of kept that mindset going. Again, I didn't sit down to write a song. I didn't sit down and go, I'm intentionally going to write this song. It just kind of, I was, actually our engineer Finn Barr will know this. Shout out to Roisin Crowley for the music tech in LIT, but she, just part of that module was, we were studying just loads and loads and loads of artists, and we were focusing a lot on like James Brown and that kind of era, and I just like having to write, like I had to write essays about them, like, so obviously I had to listen to the music, I had to know what I was talking about slightly. I'm nowhere near that level of understanding them lads yet, but I had to at least slightly understand what they were doing, and I just found techniques that they were doing just amazing. Like, and then there was a song by Matt Mason, one of my favorite artists, called "Put It On Me," and it follows that. It's quite similar in style that way, but his is a bit more heavy on the production side of things. So I just kind of blended the two, like his sort of vibe and production, but I married the acoustics with it, and then, Jesus, once I brought it to the lads, then like, you know, it just happened. Actually, Mikey came down. It was in the middle of the pandemic as well. It was when the new when the lockdown kind of first ended, and we were allowed to go places again. We went down to Joe Gallagher's studio, and it was just on a whim, like. And Mike came down. I remember when we were doing the harmonies in the thing, and all the boys are screaming at me. I was like, I can't get these harmonies; they're too high. And there's a video somewhere of all of them just on the talkback mic in the studio, just going, "No, you can do it, just stay down, just stay down." And I blew my vocal cords out that day after not singing for a year, but it was worth it in the end. Bit auto-tune, but it was still worth it in the end.
Well, you got there, but it's kind of like sassy, raunchy, and lyrics as well. Like, give us the gist of kind of where it was inspired from.
It's basically a song that kind of talks. It's how do I say this now? It's like
a night down in Soho in London.
Do you know what? It's kind of like that. It's kind of got, it does, and it unintentionally has that seedy vibe, and I don't know why. It just kind of it just does, like. But it's about wanting to do something even though you know you shouldn't do it, and that it's bad for you, but you go off and you do it anyway. And there's kind of little references like "sorry than safe" is just a play on words. You know, you're better safe than sorry, and you're sorry than safe. And you know, I have a little line in there like, "I cut my nose just to spite my face." All those kind of little lyrical details in the song, and I don't know, it was a fun song to play as well. You know, I'm usually writing really deep and sad songs.
Yeah, well, compared to Collide, it really is kind of a deeper meaning.
Yeah,
it's a bit more fun. Sorry than safe is more of a fun style,
and it's just poppier, and like, you know, there's a lot of dynamics in the song. There's a lot of push and pull with it, and you know, I want like we wanted something kind of clever, and I don't know, the bass and the drums in this song just work perfectly together. And then we were like, where are we going to fit a banjo into this song? And we just again bashed it out. We'll find if there's a banjo there, we'll find a way to put it in somewhere. Like,
but it does tickle in nicely.
It does, absolutely.
And I think we should actually let the punters hear it. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so. Is it?
This is Sorry Then Safe of Oak.
So please don't make me look down your way again. And I'm far too intrigued just to see how it ends. And one taste of you's all I need, but I can't. But you're making it harder for me to pretend. I should just say no, and I should let you go. Oh, I like being right, but I love being wrong. Trying to force you out with every word in the song. And I'm pushing away. Only thing getting pushed out is what's in your way. So I cut my nose just to spite my face. And I swore I'd never bring myself back to that place. No, I feel like there's two of me running around. And if it take blame for the love lost or found. Oh, and I should just say no, and I should let you go. Oh, I like being right, but I love being wrong. Trying to force you away with every word in this song. And I'm pushing away on your thing getting pushed out. It's what's in my way. But I'm better sorry to say, and I took far too long ramming my foot on that brake. I should have left it alone when I knew I had a chance, but we both knew that I wanted to crash.
Now, I know earlier on Mikey had said that Revelations was the favourite track of the EP, but tell me, is that the same for you all, or is there any other ones that kind of shine out as well?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think Revelations is probably
Yeah,
the worst.
Revelations
Yeah.
would be, yeah.
Mutual agreement in that one.
Yeah.
100%, yeah.
So which one would you have had, say, the most fun recording?
I'd say it had to have been for the EP anyway. Definitely Revelations. Just going up to Windmill Lane and having that experience up there, like, and working with different people. You know, it was unbelievable. That probably for me anyway. Yeah.
It was definitely, I think, only because it was in Windmill Lane, then it's not even the song as well. I know the song turned out very well,
Yeah.
but being able to get the opportunity to record in Windmill Lane and just walking up the stairs and seeing pictures all around of all different artists that have recorded there over the years. And Keegan then brought down some of his college friends, so it was great to have different influences and work with different people. And even personally now, for my banjo bit in the song,
Yeah.
me, Keegan, and his friend Dylan from Limerick, we sat down in a different part of the studio and really kind of, you know, it was only 10 or 15 minutes, but we took that 10 or 15 minutes, we really worked on it and, you know, put it all together perfectly, and it was great to work with different people. And, you know, Revelations was the first song that, you know, a few outside influences came in and,
Yeah.
you know, helped us put it all together and
Well-
record all the bits for it.
Yeah, there must have been a good energy though, because when you walk in and see all these names on the wall, because everyone signs their name, and it's just like, did you have to kind of have a pinch yourself moment?
This fella's flying up the stairs on the phone. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Snapping every signature on the wall.
The amount of names on that wall. It was,
Big
our name
names.
was beside the script, and then
Yeah.
50 Cent and Eminem were on that wall. That got me excited.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Who else was
Dr.
it? The
Dre.
piano.
Oh,
The
the
piano.
Steinway piano.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like David Bowie played on that. Like.
And
Yeah.
that piano was in the song.
Yeah, and then we have that piano. Like, we got to record that piano in the song, and credit you, Flynn, Dylan Flynn, the lad that helped our Dylan and myself just, you know, round that banjo part forward. He sorry, I'm away from the microphone, but he was there at the very, very end, like, talk about the last minute, and we just kind of let him go in there, and we were like, we need that piano in the song, and he just did this little loop on the piano, and geez, it just really made the end of that song. It lifted it, like, and you know, it was lovely to have that. Like, a couple of weeks later, then seeing the likes of Gavin James going up there and playing the same piano that's on your EP is a bit, you know, it is a pinch yourself moment. Like, that whole place is it's just a wonderland for music. Like, do you know what I mean?
In terms of then putting the songs together, recording wise, which one kind of came together the quickest?
Out of the EP, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
July was very quick, wasn't it?
Clyde was very quick, actually. Yeah, we'd released that years ago, and we didn't need to do anything with it. Like, you know, we were happy with. What's nice about those songs as well is they kind of represent like where we were in that space and time musically. We can look back on the likes of Keep On Moving, for example, and you know, we can hear ourselves how far we've come. Same with Clyde, like, you know, it's by no means absolutely perfect, but like there's a charm to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's an honesty to it as well. And we didn't feel the need to go back and like we got 2 or 3 mixes of that song and we were happy out with that. Then the one day in the studio, usually it's one day in the studio for us anyway with tunes like, The hard bit comes after the fact then.
Yeah, yeah. And I know after the EP, there was, as you performed earlier, Sorry Then Safe, that was a different kettle of fish altogether, I believe.
Let's just say me and Keegan nearly killed each other in that song. It was such a different song that we usually do, and the genre was just totally, it was unknown to us. Like, we'd never done anything before like that. So trying to sit down and mix and try to come up with things and trying to put our heads together and produce it, it was very stressful. Like, but at the end, as I said to Keegan, like, it was our first time ever doing something like that. It's a learning curve. Now, like, if we were ever to go back and record a song like that again, we'll know more in what needs to go into it, and we'll be able to come together a bit quicker with it. But no, it worked out. Like, it worked out after all the stress. We can finally look back and say we're glad it worked out.
And that's probably out of all your songs, that was the one that took the longest really to get together.
100%, yeah.
Painstaking.
To be fair, it was. I felt bad. Like, credit where credit is due. One of my best friends, Gavin, we all call him Ches, but he mixed the whole EP. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Bar Clyde, he mixed the whole EP, and yeah, no, we wrecked his poor head with that song, and like, you know, and like it, like, but like that again, you know, it was like that. It was a learning curve. It was a learning curve all the way through, and to be fair, like, whenever we got a mix back, the lads would give their comments, we'd have our own comments, and you know, it was that lack of, like, I remember him asking us for a reference check for that song, and I was like, I don't even know what I want this song to sound like, because, you know, there was just so many different ways you could have taken that song, but I think we finally honed it down, and we got it in the end, thank God.
Very good. Now, we're going to hear Can You Feel It in just a minute, but before we do so, I want to chat to you about this, because this one is another deep meaningful song on it. It tackles the seriousness around drug abuse and stuff like that in young people today. Yeah. So give us the lowdown on it.
Yeah, it's just like, just when I was growing up, I just noticed like a certain amount of friends around me kind of falling into that, and just, I don't know, it worried me a small bit, like, you know, and like, what's the first thing you do when you're a musician and something starts itching at your head? You just start writing a song, like, and you know, it's a funny one, because we went and we recorded like 3 times. It was the first, like, and then first song we ever recorded, and like, we look back at it and we were like, what were we doing? But third time was the charm. Yeah, we were like, if it doesn't work this time, it'll never work. But we got it in Joe Gallagher's studio, and Chesy mixed it, and he did a fantastic job on it. But yeah, no, that song, just again, it was about a certain time and a place when I back when I was 15. I just noticed this was happening around me, and it was just a song that it just kind of came together quite quickly. I took a day off school to write it and show it to the boys, and like that, then, you know, that was kind of the start for us as an original band, and the boys just picked it up. Like, you know, Dylan just fired away on the banjo, Mike just started firing away on bass, Evan just
done his thing.
Evan just smashed the drums to pieces, like, and you know, it came together, and as we recorded more and more, it sort of matured over the years, and we finally again honed that song down. It was 5 minutes or 5.5 minutes when we started it. It's down to 3.5 now, and that's long enough.
Well, look, I think we let everyone hear it. What you reckon?
Yeah.
Can you feel it?
Well, I can get a kick out of this one. I can feel it soaking. It's burning through my system. It's a flame and I'll feed it oxygen. So I watch the fire climb, smoke rise. My pupils are white, and I feel invincible tonight. So can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel? Yeah. 'Cause there's a place I go, and a place I know, and I'm like you. Just to let me know and let it go, I'm not like you. And there's a place I go, and a place I know, and I'm like you. It's just to let me know and let it go. Baby, it feels so good to cut our losses here. We can let it out on tonight like nothing ever happened. So we live to the full of our youth with the scars to prove. But don't you dare take this from me. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Woo! There's a place I go and a place I know, and I'm like you. Just to let me know, let it go. I'm not like you. And there's a place I go and a place I know, and I'm like you. Just to let me know, let it go.
Now, next up, we're talking about the biggest song of the EP, Revelations itself. So, no pun intended here, but reveal all.
Yeah, Revelations is it's a song. I think it resonates with a lot of people now, especially like in the midst of a pandemic. You know, it was a song I wrote back. It was just after the Christmas before, probably around February before the pandemic, the year before. Yeah, I was in third year. But basically, it's just about people being able to just, I don't know, it's a song about kind of finding yourself as well. It's about kind of standing on your own 2 feet and having a strong enough, just trying to build yourself up so you have a strong enough head and mental health really to just like be able to stand on your own and not need to ask people for help, and getting yourself to that point and like realizing that only really and truly like people can be there for you all they want, but ultimately it's up to you, you know, like
Yeah.
you need to want to get better. You need to want to be in a good space. Otherwise, I know that's easier said than done. I'm not undermining it or anything like that, but
Yeah.
that's where that's where that song kind of stemmed from. It was a, no pun intended, but it was a revelation for me. Like, you know, it's something
Yeah.
that simple, but it's just, you know, you have to be willing to work on yourself, and you have to be willing to make changes and try. And, you know, only then when you see real results, and that's where that sort of song stems for me anyway.
Yeah, it's a driving force song of
Yeah.
like looking at yourself,
Yeah.
and especially there's a lyric I'm very fond of in it, and you know it very well because I'm always plaguing you about
Beyond
it.
the gravestones.
Yeah, it'll be on the gravestone when I die. The winds that brought the forest to its knees is the lyric I'm referring to in the
Yeah.
song, and it's powerful stuff. It really is.
It nearly didn't make it. That line nearly didn't make it.
Why not?
I don't know. I was sitting down writing it, and I was like, Jesus Christ, Keegan, like, who are you trying to be here? Like Luke Kelly or something? Will you get over yourself? But yeah, no, but I decided to keep it. I decided to keep it just because I couldn't think of anything else, and I was like, it'll fill the lyric at the time. And then I showed it to the likes of you, and I showed it to my old lad as well.
Yeah.
And he was like, Keegan, I love that line. He's like, you better keep that in the song. And I maybe because the line originated from a children's. See, I'm going to cheapen the song now, but you know what? I'm not. It's
No, it's the inspiration is the inspiration. It really
There's
is.
a movie called Klaus, and it's just a Christmas movie, like, but like
Yeah.
got really good reviews, and I love movies, so I was like, grand, I'll give this a listen or a watch, like, and I'm not going to spoil it, but in case there's big children like myself out there who want to watch it, but
Yeah.
there's a part in the movie where the main character, his wife is dead, and but he lives out in the woods, and every time the wind kind of blows a certain direction, it's a sign from her for him to follow it. And I thought the metaphor of that was just lovely. Like, it just stuck with me. Like, and I remember singing that, and I remember thinking, like, what am I going to do for a bridge? And I remember that I literally had just watched that movie, and it just like that, it stuck with me. And that line just came out. It was like it used to be the wind that brought the forest to his knees, and to revert back to that whole thing of being able to have a good head and good mental health, like that.
Yeah.
That's the truth of it. Like, like people aren't like, you're not born that way. Like this is something that happens over time, and you see people fall victim to it. Like, but at one point, even if it was when they were a child, like, we all have that in us. Like it used to be the wind that brought the forest to his knees. That's what that lyric means.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's where the inspiration for that lyric came in.
Yeah. Now you have an official video released for this as well, of
Yeah.
course, for Revelations, and it was filmed on location in a derelict house, I believe. Evan, you can give us the lowdown on that.
It's actually my girlfriend's great granny's house, and basically, when the house was built, it was built sort of in American style. So it was one of the first ever sort of 2-story big houses to be built back in the day, and there used to be a whole forestry covering it, so you could never see it from the road. But the week before we were about to shoot, they cut down all the trees.
Right.
And it actually made it 10 times better, because the natural light that came in, there was no electricity in it, so we had no light. But in the video, the light it's perfect for the like sort of theme we want the video to be. And it was just great, like, 'cause it was literally left abandoned the way, like, it was just left as it was. It's where someone just got up and disappeared. And even with like the writing in the closets and stuff marking dates, it was just it's a nice sort of throwback, and it sort of gives life to the house basically.
Yeah.
Again.
Now, where can people actually get your EP?
If they just DM us on Instagram, we're happy to send it out to them. All our pricing is on Instagram there. You can see it for yourselves, and just send us a message, and we'll be happy to send one your way.
Yeah, so be sure to check them out on all the music platforms, download their stuff, favorite their stuff, go onto social media, stalk them, because that's what they want. They want you have to know everything about them, especially with all the music. It's fantastic. So give us your social media handles.
It's Evoke_band on Instagram, and it's just Evoke on Facebook.
And then
Evoke.
Score Band on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
just
Snapchat as well.
yeah, and Snapchat. So just Google Evoke Band and you'll find it. You'll find them everywhere. Right, I'm going to leave it over to you as you have a few words to say before you.
So just before we get into our last song, I just want to thank a few people who, without them, this EP probably wouldn't be here today. So I just want to thank Dylan Flynn, Chris Britton for their production throughout the EP. I want to thank Chezzy for mixing this, for mixing most of it. Chris Crane as well from The Forge. I want to thank Dean Borum as well for all his help throughout the years. I also want to thank Joe Crean, Dylan's father, and Nathan Crean as well for doing photography for us. Nathan, in fairness to him, took up the mantle today and came out and got a few snapshots. Jack Kelly as well for recording the music video. Emmett Ryan for doing the artwork for the EP. I want to thank Gaff Studios, Windmill Lane Studios, the Sound to Light studio here, especially Finbar behind the desk. And last but not least, I want to thank Chris Sherlock too for all your help throughout the years as well, and just pushing our EP as much as you possibly could and pushing our music, and pushing us. So I just want to thank all those people. And without further ado, this is Revelations. So don't look at me like I'm the only one who needs some currency. You shouldn't lean on me the way you do when you know I'm the one that is falling. And I might catch you, break you, fall, and still find a way to hold you upright. You need to find someone else, other people to depend on for help. Can't do it all for you, not even if I wanted to. Do it all for you. Oh no. Sometimes maybe the best way forward is to leave all of this behind. But we can try. Walls and hide. But darling, I'll be lying if I told you that I thought we'd last the night. 'Cause there's this storm coming in, bringing seething seas and high wind. They can tie us up and hold us there, leaving all of our scars open and bare, and I remember when that was you. So don't look at me like I'm the only one who needs some courtesy. You shouldn't lean on me the way you do when you know I'm the one that is falling. And I might catch you, break you, fall, and still find a way to hold you upright. You need to find someone else, or the people to depend on for help. I can't do it all for you, not even if I wanted to, no. Can't do it all for you. Oh, no, no, no. And oh, you used to be the wind that brought the forest to its knees. And oh, you would follow the leaves and you tear them to those trees. But now, I just sit and wait for each time you give out take. But now, and I feel that I might have made a mistake. So don't look at me like I'm the only one who needs some courtesy. You shouldn't lean on me the way you do when you know I'm the one that is falling. No. Still I might catch you, break you, fall, find a way to hold you upright. You need to find someone else, or the people to depend on for help. I can't do it all for you, not even if I wanted to, no. Can't do it all for you. Oh, no, no, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. That's a wrap.
One more time.
I was about to say, someone fucking clap or something.